Let's start with your name. Where'd your name come from?
Rapper T. Smith. Well, my real name is Michael Smith. And like in my neighborhood, they used to call me like Toonie and stuff like that. So like, instead of me being called Toonie, which is so close to Lil Wayne name and things of that nature, like I was just like T. Smith. You know, I just kind of took the first letter in my, nickname and added to my last name and just became T. Smith. And I just wanted to be like as close as possible to just a real person. Like what you see is what you get. Like I ain't got no name, like whatever, you know what I mean?
Why put the name rapper in your name?
Like the rapper part just came into play because it's like the more I got into the music industry, like the more I realized like searching purposes and stuff matter, you know. So you typing in T. Smith on YouTube or whatever, website you would be looking for me on, it probably would bring up Timothy Smith, Thomas, whoever. But rapper T. Smith is just gonna bring up rapper T. Smith.
Now, do you feel like that'll limit you as an artist?
What, my name?
Yeah, just putting the word rapper in front of your name.
No, I mean, maybe in the future, maybe it's something that I don't know right now, that it may, upside or downside about my name. But as of right now, like, it's only helping me because, when people type me up, look me up, it's easier to find me. But me just saying I'm a having my name Rapper T. Smith is just not like, oh, I'm just a rapper, because everyone who knows my music knows that, like, I pretty much try to hit on every, part of the music scene. I'm not no singer or nothing, but at the same time, like, I'm pretty versatile.
Now, where are you from?
I'm from Selma, Alabama.
Selma?
Yeah.
Just like the movie?
Selma, just like the movie. Crazy part about it, I played in it.
You were in the movie?
I was in the movie Selma.
Oh, okay. And were you an extra or you had a role?
I was an extra.
Okay.
Yeah.
How, let me ask you this, being from Selma, has like your family been in Selma like in older generations and that whole?
Yeah.
So they were a part of that? They seen it first, they seen those events in real life, in real time play out?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you gotta, like, in Selma, man, Selma is like a 15, 20,000 people city. So that's very, very small. So it's like every part of the city that we walk on, that was like our great auntie getting beat on there. That was like our great uncle, grandmother getting beat on or getting sprayed with the water hoses and stuff like that. Like, we may not see that, we may not never see that again or whatever, but of course, like, Selma is so small, like, everything just like, it's just so compact there. That's like in Selma, everything that happened, everyone is going to hear about it because everyone is going to know that person, seen that person, walk past that person or something.
Now, since those historic events in Selma took place, that movie, Selma, I'm sure brought a new energy to your town. How has the energy, or have things changed, if at all, since the movie? Is there more tourists that come? Is there, I mean, what have you know?
Definitely got worse.
It got worse?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And like after the movie and stuff, after the movie, Oprah Winfrey, where was Barack Obama, people of that nature came down there, and like soon they left, like it was like 5, 6, 7 deaths back to back. Like Selma, I don't even want to pull out coattail on like saying it like this, but Selma is like really like a small Detroit or a small Compton. Like, it's really bad.
So, violence.
Yeah, like we #1 in the state right now. Most dangerous city in Alabama.
Not so much racial violence, but like street violence?
No racial violence, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah.
All right, now, for someone that's never seen the movie, know the historical facts about Selma, or even knew Selma existed, give us a tour of Selma. Let's start with the food. Favorite food spot in the town?
Favorite food spot?
Where do you go?
Crown chicken. Everyone will agree on that. Crown chicken. And besides that, it's just really like the natural places that everyone goes to, the McDonald's, the Taco Bells and stuff. But Crown chicken is the only place, like, you know, how every city have that one or two spots that ain't globally known. Like Crown chicken is that spot, you know.
What do you usually order?
What is like 10-piece wings, stuff like that. Like it's really like a wing place, burger place and stuff
What
like
kind
that.
of wings? Like what flavor?
What
do you
really
recommend?
like, I mean, it really don't regular, you know, mild and stuff like that. I really don't even be on like the Crown chicken place and stuff, cause like I rarely ever like I rarely be in, you know, the city and stuff as much as I used to. So it's like when I am in town, like I try to eat healthy and stuff though, man. Cause one thing I learned in like music, like it's so easy to get out of shape when you start like getting money and stuff like that. Not saying that I'm getting money for real, but it's just like when you start like just getting into the music more and more, being on the road and stuff, you tend to eat terrible, man.
Now, what about the nightlife? Any clubs that you frequent, or favorite
Nah,
nightclub or strip club out there? What do they got?
No strip clubs in Selma, but the night scene used to be real dope. I'm 20 years old. I'm not legal to get in the club, but of course everyone know, you know, at one point in time and stuff, everyone is gonna get into clubs way before they're able to get in clubs or whatever. So it's like now I done got to the point like I don't even want to be there or whatever like that. But like the nightlife used to be all right, but like the violence is so bad in Selma. Like there has been like, man, numerous, I can't count like how many times, like in the 3-4 month span, there has been like murders at the clubs, like every club. And it's like one club in Selma that you have to be 24, 25 and up to get in. And like that's be the safest club. And that just goes to show you like all the violence is young niggas.
Now, what's the closest major city to Selma?
Montgomery.
How far?
It's like 46 mile radius or whatever. That's the city Doe B was from. RP Doe B.
So about an hour away?
Hour away. Exact.
So when I mean, you say you're not allowed to be in clubs. Is that just Selma clubs? Because I mean, there's people make clubs that are 18 and up, and clubs
Yeah,
that are
but
21
you know,
and up.
like this violence and stuff so bad in Selma. Like you can probably get in at 18, but they gonna put a bright ass wristband on your arm to make you not be able to drink or whatever. Like the wristband is gonna be for the people who are able to drink, and they just gonna put like a little mark or something on your hand if you ain't able to get in there. So it's like if you get in there, ain't nobody finna give up day drinking wristband to help you drink or whatever like that. So it's like you will be able to get in at 18, but you definitely won't be able to drink or whatever like that.
Now, if you do want to go turn up, do you stay in Selma or do you personally go to Montgomery? Or
I mean, Montgomery ain't no better though, cause it's like, yo, Montgomery and Selma is like that close. Like people just don't realize like Montgomery and Selma is that close. So it's like whatever happening in Montgomery is happening in Selma. Like Montgomery is that close, like for real.
now, we talked about the food, we talked about the nightlife a little bit. Any other places you recommend someone visit, see, or do while they're in town?
I
If any?
mean, this ain't no, you know, passion game or nothing like that. Like I'm not talking down to my city, cause by all means I love my city. I'm from Selma forever. But at the same time, it's like when you be in a city that, when you grow up in the environment that I grew up in and from the places that I grew up from and stuff, it's like your only option, you feel like your only option is to get as far away as possible from the city, because it's like you don't see no growth in it. Selma is the type of place you go with your 70-year-old wife and, you know, retired. This is a retirement city.
Now, what about the lingo? What are some terms or some phrases one might hear in the city of Selma right about now?
Whatever gang they claim. What up, cuz? What up, dog? What up, G? You know, booling, cooling, you know, things of that nature, you know. Whatever gang they claim, on ma, you know, anything like that, like, and the Gump use everything that I just said the same way, like on ma and all that. So it's like that just show you how everything is just that close or whatever. We just that close, but that's pretty much the lingo.
What about events? Are there any major events you recommend someone come to Selma specifically for? Like, for example, in New Orleans, Mardi Gras is like a week-long celebration out there.
Jubilee.
Explain that.
The Jubilee is an event for the civil rights movement that went on, and like with Dr. Martin Luther King, we have the bridge crossing. It's called the Bridge Crossing Jubilee, and every year, numerous of celebrities and stuff, come down to the Jubilee. Some speak, some perform, some just come down to live the atmosphere of Selma for a day. It usually hold about 30,000 people, but I think it was year before last, or last year, it hit like 100,000. Like, it was packed to capacity, and like people was parking all up on top of sidewalks and everything. So it like that gets really, really blowed. You know what I mean? The city, like, it gets so bad. It just gets so bad because it be so packed and stuff like that. You would be parking probably like 30 miles down the road. At the last event, you had to park like probably 30 miles down the road, get out and walk. And on Sunday they walk across the bridge and and things of that nature.
Is that a one-day event?
It's really like a weekend event.
Let's take it back a little bit. What type of student were you in school?
Athlete. I played basketball, football, ran track. We went to my senior year, we went to the first round of playoff, and we didn't make the playoff in basketball and whatever. My 11th grade year, we went to the Final Four in basketball. We didn't make the playoffs in football, but we won the championship in track. So it's like I was always into the sports and stuff like that, but I wasn't as good. Like, I wasn't as good or whatever, like, as I knew I could be. So it like that what led to the music scene.
Graduated high school?
Yeah.
Tried college?
Mm-hmm.
Still in college?
Nope.
Dropped out?
Yep.
Quit?
It wasn't so much of a quit. I didn't want to just say that with just so much pride, but it was like more so of me seeing myself fall off. Like, I was getting my mind. I was trying to get my mind and stuff together. I'm not a bad kid at all. Like, I literally like seeing myself falling off and seeing myself starting to go to school to try to get the grant money and stuff like that, to just try to push other things further in life. Like, man, I need to get a car. I'm going to college or whatever like that. And I went to school for 2 years. I became a freshman and sophomore, and then I dropped out. Like, I ain't just go to school and just was like, whatever, just fuck it, I'm leaving or whatever like that. It was like 2 years, then I dropped out and stuff. But music like picked up for me, so that's why I kind of dropped out.
Now, music was your reason to drop out. What's your advice to someone thinking about, watching this interview, thinking about enrolling into college? Because there's different people that have different opinions of college. Some people say go to college.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say you don't need college.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say maybe a trade school instead. Some people say, some people go to college and don't end up having a job that they actually got a degree for.
Yeah.
Some people have dropped out and become very successful, like Bill Gates or Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
What's your advice to someone, again, thinking about enrolling into college? What do you say to them?
It's pros and cons. To me, if you go to college, that's the greatest, one of the greatest achievements in the world. So it's like, by all means, everybody should go to college or at least try. But sometimes, God just got a different plan for you. No matter what, God knows what is best for you. So don't let no one in the world sit here and bash you because you didn't go to college or because you dropped out of school or whatever. That's even go for high school or college. So it's like, yo, live your life. Let people, people need to understand, just let people live their life, and God know what God got a plan for them, And for me, my life picked up even more when I stopped going to school or whatever. At one point in time, I was down on my ass, but it started picking up for me even more, And God just put me in a situation of like, you finna make music. Like, I only been making music 2 years, so it picked up for me.
Now, if you could go back in time, would you have gone and done that time in college again or no?
I mean, I just stopped going to school like last year. So, I mean, going to college like a year and a half ago or whatever, like 2 semesters ago. So this ain't no, I graduated in 2013. So, man, I went to college 2 years after that. 14, 15. Like I just really stopped going to school like last year. So it was like, yo, I ain't just no person who, oh man, I dropped college and just been gone for 4, 5 years like I'm young, man. So I can always go back. That's something that I really want to do. I just know like how things going for me now, moving around and stuff. Instead of me just sitting up in class or missing class all the time and failing because I'm so tired and so this and so that, that may wasn't an excuse or whatever. But hey man, some people's body just work different. Some people's thoughts just work different. So I would love to go back to college once everything is said and done. Like even Cole did that. J. Cole, finished college and stuff. So it's like, yo, I look up to him. That's one of my favorite artists and stuff like that. So I know if he did it, like I can do it too, like or whatever.
Now, when did you drop out? Freshman, sophomore?
Sophomore.
Jobs you had growing up, if any?
Wal-mart, Hibbett Sport. Yep.
Quit these jobs, got fired?
Walmart, I went to jail and lost my job. I went to jail for tickets, seatbelt ticket and shit. Like I ain't paid a ticket, so I ended up getting pulled over and they ran my name in. I had a warrant for the ticket. Went to jail. I stayed in jail for like 3, 4 days just to make the bond and stuff like that. And when I did bond out, like I lost my job because I had missed too many days and I had just started working there. But it was like, yo, I used to be out there at Walmart with my music CDs and all before I clocked in or even after I clocked in, like promote my CDs and stuff. So I don't know if I was gonna ever get in trouble for that or not, but they knew about it.
Any crazy stories dealing with any of those jobs you just mentioned?
No, not necessarily, man. Nah.
What's the worst thing you put your parents through?
The worst thing I put my parent, which is my mother, through. I don't know my father. That's not saying my mom was a hoe out there or whatever like that. It was just a situation went down that caused my father to run away or whatever somehow. But as far as my mother, man, it's so much. So it's like, yo, it's so hard to just name what you put a mother through because it's like the things that we say is, the things that we think is bad ain't really bad, but like to a mother, it'll just be like, this boy just tried to, like you could just, like say for instance, if you young and your mother is chastising you, we saying a whooping or whatever, like you can try to block your mom lick and your mom will call everybody in the family like, this boy just tried to fight me or whatever. Like, well, like that's just the facts of growing up, you know what I'm saying? Black or whatever like that, like yo, like black parents like really crazy and stuff, like for real, man. So it's like, yo, parents just take stuff to the extreme. Things don't even be that serious sometimes, I'm not that child that grew up and had, like my mom had to tell me, don't smoke weed. I'm drug free. Like I never smoked weed, never smoked cigarette, never smoked anything in my life. I waited till I graduated high school to ever even pick up a liquor or anything like that. So it's like my mom never had to go through the stage of, hey, like, what are you doing with a gun or whatever like that. I always just been a guy from the street that was just trying to make it out.
What's your message to the youth?
Keep pushing and keep God in it. If you don't keep God in it, you gonna fail. Cause it's like our God is a jealous God, and by all means, He want to have hands over everything that you do. He want to touch everything you do. So it's like you gotta keep God first and let Him know that you thanking Him, the whole way up and stuff. Cause if you don't, man, He gonna show you that you need Him more than He needs you.
Let's talk music a little bit. When it comes to the music industry, what bothers you the most about it at this point? What's your biggest pet peeve with it?
My pet peeve with the music industry, and I think a lot of people probably would think like this also, is like, man, how we just, it's so, like the music is just becoming more so of just clubby vibes and, the nodding of the head or the tempo. It ain't more so like, of like, did you hear what he say? Like, I'm trying to hear what he say. It ain't more so of that thing. It ain't more so of that nature no more. Like labels and all of them things, like all labels and stuff, most labels, like they really just more so on, oh, does he got, he got 20 million downloads on, 20 million views on YouTube. Like, we can sign him, we can make some money off him, more so than that's a longevity artist right there. Like, he's talking about something that's gonna keep him in the game, longer and longer and longer. Like, labels and promoters and stuff, they more so care about like the money and stuff now.
Do you see that changing?
No, I don't see that changing at all, because it's like they allowing every day, man, or every year, like a breakout artist, not bashing anyone with their music, but every year a breakout artist is like not even lyrical, not even storytelling, not even conscious, not even versatile. Like, you just be like, dang, yo, like, this is what hip hop is coming to, though.
Who do you blame for that? I mean, you mentioned record labels and stuff, but do you blame the record labels and the music industry, or do you blame the fans, the consumers, the listeners?
Pretty much both, though, because it's like, if you think about it, like, the fans is really boosting these. I don't even, and it go farther than the fan. It's your homeboys also. So it's like, yo, it start with your homeboys. First and foremost, it start with your homeboys. If you in the studio, and then most rappers, for some reason, they feel like it's so good to be in the studio 10, 20 deep, drinking, smoking, or whatever like that. Like, okay, you 10, 20 deep, there's no way possible, man. If these guys supposed to be your real homeboys, there's no way possible you supposed to leave that studio with some whack music. Those are not your real homeboys if they sit there and allow you to drop whack music. Yo, my realest homeboys that hang around me, shout out to my boy Jarice, Tay, J Hatch, and whoever, if I'm forgetting somebody, man. But my realest homeboys are the people who get around me and be like, man, look, bro, T, you can go harder than that. You always go hard, so I know you can go harder than that. Like, man, yo, your real homeboy is supposed to tell you, like, man, you need to go back in there. Like, you don't supposed to, man, people running around here just letting their homeboy think they dropping hits and stuff like that. Those are not my real homeboys if they let me leave that studio sounding like ass. So it started with the homeboys, and so far, so on. The homeboys allow you to think you're dropping a hit, then you take it out there and the fans make you feel like you're dropping a hit. Then the label, they're basically, I feel like some labels are forced to sign some people because it's like, yo, he's not really talented, but hey, we can make 20 million off of him.
Top 3 things you need in the studio.
Notepad, pen, and time. That's it. I don't need much.
Craziest studio story, if you have one.
Crazy studio story. I really don't have one, because it's like, yo, like, when I go to the studio, I pretty much be already focusing things of that, like that.
What's the realest song you ever wrote so far in your whole catalog of music?
Well, the song that everyone, pretty much be buzzing about is called Politics. But if you want, that just like more so of the lyrical song, the most lyrical song I ever wrote. But the realest song I ever wrote is Letter to My Father.
What's that about?
Letter to My Father was basically like me just saying how I grew up with a father and I thought that it was okay. Like, I used to walk outside with my mom and used to see kids walking around with their mom and their dad, and I used to think that I used to think they was tripping. I used to think that it was something wrong with them. Like, I used to be like, why is they with this guy walking with their mom and stuff? So it was just like, that was Letter to My Father. It just basically was like, and then the older I got and stuff, I was like, yo, I supposed to have a dad in my life. You know what I mean? So Letter to My Father was basically like telling my story of not having no dad and me not knowing if my dad out here with another beautiful family, whether he dead or in jail. Like, at the end of the day, he abandoned me and left me and mom death for stranded, how I feel. So Letter to My Father was basically telling my story of me not having a father, period.
No clue where he's at?
No clue.
Risk versus reward. What's the biggest risk you took for your music career so far?
Oh, man. Man, it's crazy, bro. It's really like, man, Man, it's so many. Like, I'm just one of them people, like, man, I done took some of the biggest risks in my life, man. But I just gotta say, one of them is, like, one time I had got, like, the student grant or whatever like that, and it was, like, 2,000 something. And I think I ended up spending, like, 1,500 of that 2,000, like, on a mixtape. And that was, like, around my first mixtape. I only dropped 2 mixtapes. That was 2 years ago when I dropped my first mixtape, Freshman. I spent like 1,500 on that tape, and I didn't have nothing to show for it. No video is out from the Freshman. I didn't get no CD pressed up, and then I just wanted to be able to say, hey, I dropped a mixtape, like, and that's when I started getting smart and realizing like that 1,500 could have been put towards something, building up my fan base or building up, you know, whatever I had to build up to make people want to hear my music. I put out a mixtape and it did all right, you know, but it wasn't nothing, man. I felt like that was the worst mistake of my life, of putting that 1,500 into that.
What are your keys to success?
You definitely want to stay focused. Like I said, keep God in it at all times. You definitely want to stay focused, keep God in it. You want to take constructive criticism. That's one of the biggest things. Like, you're not no real artist if you can only take good criticism. You want people to be real with you about your music, but at the same time, when they tell you that shit whack, you sit there and think somebody hating. Everyone who says your music is not good at the moment isn't hating. Like, they just giving you their opinion. Like, people have opinions, so it's like you gotta take constructive criticism. You got to be ready to be up early morning, late nights. For some reason, people feel like writing music and having a lot of music is grinding now, but no, that's not grinding. Like, that's the easy part. You having 100 songs and stuff, that's the easy part. Like, the hardest part is you getting out here and having 100 people to listen to those 100 songs. So, yeah.